The Northwest government failed to spend about 1.8 billion rand in the latest financial year. Several municipalities will now forfeit their conditional grants in a province crippled by massive service delivery problems. For more on this, we are joined by Northwest Finance MEC Motlalepula Rosho. MEC, very good morning. Talk to us about how the selection process for appointing the Northwest Exco actually works. But I suppose maybe we could start off with, how does 1.8 billion rand not get spent when service delivery is not where it should be? What are the challenges?
No, thank you very much. I think part of our challenges that we've observed in the Executive Council is where you've realized that there's not a systematic process in terms of making sure that senior managers who are supposed to be sitting in those bidding committees are properly managed, and making sure that in terms of the plan, especially the procurement plans, that are implemented accordingly. Remember, when the budget is appropriated from the first quarter, you are expected to have spent at least 25% of that budget. So part of the challenges is that procurement plans are not followed through, implemented up to the core. But also, also in this previous the financial year that we have discussed in terms of the 1.8 billion, we must also know the fact that as a result also of the adjustment, the adjusted budget of 1 billion has actually made, we are expecting that departments must spend that money within that period from November and the first quarter, which is your third quarter, your last month of the third quarter, and the last quarter. So those challenges are there. Sitting of bid committees, following through of the procurement plan, spending your first quarter budget, at least you should be at 25%. If you've not spent, you spend that within that period. The second quarter, you do a recovery plan. You must implement the recovery plan. So recovery plans also are not being followed through. So those are the challenges that we've observed as the Executive Council. And in this current financial year, 2023-24, it's areas that we have agreed as Executive Council that they need to be tightened up, especially also knowing that we are now also having most of the department having substantive HODs.
MEC, you've appointed Northwest Exco representatives. Are these new positions, or are you replacing positions that were already in office?
No, this is not the positions that are already in office. Remember, in terms of Section 1395 of the Constitution, if you go through it, actually, if you go to the MFMA, Section 138 to 140, it speaks to, it outlines the process that needs to happen when municipalities are in financial crisis. So historically, since 2016-17, we've had municipalities gradually adopting unfunded budgets with the financial plans, which they develop themselves internally as municipalities, because there's provisions for that in terms of the MFMA. But as a result of their financial plans to ensure that they adopt funded budgets, they have not yielded the desired results. And over time, municipalities until 2019 has been adopting their unfunded budgets. And by implication, adoption and unfunded budgets suggests that the commitments that you make as and when you do consultations as councillors with your communities in terms of their basic needs, and also responding to service delivery to programs that they commit themselves through their IDP, through their SDP, where they commit that this is in the financial year. Like, for example, we'll be having so many house lights and high mass lights. These internal routes are going to be repaired or patched. At the end of the day, that work is not done because the municipality has adopted an unfunded budget, and the financial plan has also not worked. So in the sixth administration, as we came in, we received a report of municipalities that are in financial crisis, which were 43 in the country. And then technically, from Northwest, there were 13, but we have managed to assist the Bojanala quickly, which was not in that dire, it was financial constraint, was not in that side dire crisis. Other 12 municipalities were in financial crisis, and of the 12 were the ones that were in serious financial crisis, which was the 8, which the minister then directed. Because if you look into the Constitution, the Minister of Finance directs the Executive Council through the Premier to impose financial recovery plan. So when municipalities are in financial crisis adopting unfunded budget, we must help them to start to adopt funded budgets. It's quite a process. It will take some time to stabilize, because where municipalities are at the moment are not able to provide basic services to the communities. Hence, we had to bring the EXCO representatives. And the EXCO representatives, how they were appointed. It's a process that we've allowed it was a tender process where we allow the expertise. People must come and lodge the expertise that they have. And in terms of that, we did, it was a purely procurement process. But after that, after they were nominated, they had to come to the panel they were interviewed through a panel. The panel, we had the representatives from SALGA, the COCTA, and a representative, DCOC National Treasury, as well as a provincial treasury. So that's how we have run this process for procurement, and making sure that we we get the right people, and these are it's fit for purpose, and they'll be able to assist us. But remember, it's not only about EXCO representatives. We are going to have it's a multidisciplinary team also from National Treasury, where they start also now they have started to do the rescue plans for all the municipalities, working together with provincial treasury. And then we have through DCOC, we also bring in MISA on board, because issues of infrastructure also are critical in terms of providing good infrastructure as provision of basic services. Besides issues of, you have water and sanitation the department forming part of our multidisciplinary committee.
Sorry, let me see if you'll allow.
We take everybody on board.
Let me see if you allow me to come in there a little bit. You obviously have a lot of moving parts from what you've explained, but would you explain to us how the appointed EXCO representative will work with the municipalities that have been put under mandatory financial recovery intervention?
They will definitely work, because remember, the appointments of these EXCO reps, they are going to work together with the municipal managers of municipalities. They are going to work together with council. So in terms of, and work closely, of course, also account to the mayor. Remember, this process is led also by the executive council, whereby you expect the mayor of that council to take that report on monthly basis to the council. So this EXCO rep on monthly basis, they'll report to the mayor. The mayor will take the report to council, but also the council, through the office of the speaker, they must establish a multi-party committee that will oversee the process and also oversee the report on monthly basis. And from that, the EXCO rep, the report goes to the MEC for Finance, who would also take the report through the political committee, oversight committee led by the Premier and the MEC for COCTA, and will take that report to EXCO on monthly basis. So that's the process whereby the EXCO rep will work with the teams that are in the municipality to strengthen their capacity, but to ensure that issues of skills are also looked at, but working together with COCTA, because the MEC for COCTA already has started the process of skills audit within the entire municipalities in the province. So the EXCO rep are not going to work in isolation with the municipal manager. They are not going to work in isolation with the CFO. Remember, we want to strengthen the budget and treasury offices of all the departments of finance within the municipalities. So development of the financial recovery plan is their main focus. They must be able to develop the financial recovery plan, and as well as start to implement it. We have already done the work internally as provincial treasury. We've done the status quo report. We've assessed the performance of the municipalities over time. We've looked into the issues of skills and capacity. So we know exactly what needs to be done. And there is the terms of reference that has been set for all these EXCO reps. And by the way, the terms of reference are also going to be gazetted, so that even the public knows what are the terms of reference of the financial of the EXCO representatives.
Well, it then paves the question, MEC, what are the consequences for the appointed EXCO representative if they fail to achieve the desired outcomes for their municipalities in terms of financial recovery and improved service delivery?
Remember, we signed an agreement with the contract agreement with the EXCO reps. So in terms of obviously, if there's no performance, there must be consequences, and those consequences, part of those consequences, we would have to either give them counsel depending on areas that they have not. But if there's a total lack of desired results, I think some of them they would have to. We'll make an assessment. We'll take the report to the to EXCO will do recommendations. If there's a need that some of them will have to be recalled for the purpose of not perform, we'll do that. But I must say I'm confident with the people that we've put there. I'm very, very much confident that they will be able to adhere to the terms of reference, because they've been taken also through the induction program on what is expected of them when they get into municipality. They're not taking over powers of the municipality. There they have to make sure that they assist municipalities to be financially and to viable. And be able to adopt the unfunded. And by the way, this process is not going to be happening within 12 months. It's a process that in our analysis where we are as province, it might take a period of 24 months, depending on one municipality to the other in terms of their situation of finance.
Ma'am, appreciate your time this morning. Northwest Finance MEC Motlalepula Rosho speaking to us this morning.